test, test. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, test, test. Amethyst Woodworks. Today we're going to finish this. We're going to put the finish on it. I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to use this one. It's oil base. You can get it on Home Depot. It's, I like to use always satin on these, doing this kind, the finish. I always use lacquer for refinish, to put finish on the top of this. But on this, I'm going to use this one. So it's very easy to process. With this one, because you don't have to put too much of it and just go easy on it. And this is what I'm going to use. The grade on this sandpaper is 150. You can use a 122 or whatever you feel comfortable, but I like to use 150, and I like to use one of these all sponges, and what I do, I wrap my thing around to it, my sandpaper, and I will sand my top, before I spray. I will show you how it's done. One of the first things that you have to make sure, remember the nails that I put on in here, and we have to make sure that those nails, they're way inner. So we're going to use a hammer to push these nails down a little bit, because you don't want to take the rusty from the nails, So basically, just try to push them down a little more. I show you. You can use a regular hammer for it, and one of these to push the nails down. Just don't hit them hard, you don't want it sticking out from the top. So basically you just kind of like hit it a little bit. The camera guy is very slow. I gotta hire somebody else. Right there. So you see this nail is a little bit up above the surface. So we're gonna push it down. Right there is fine. It's the same thing on this one as you see it. How it's kind of on the top. You're just gonna do the same thing. That's fine right there. I think, I push it. I did it too hard, and I think I break a little bit, but it looks very good too. So, but I just keep going around to it and find whatever you need to. You see, like this on the side. I have to push this inner, so there you go. Little by little. There you go. Right there is fine. Just go around to it. And just kind of what I'm trying to do is just kind of to give you ideas again for, you know, those little details that you might run into it. There is another nail here. This is fine right there. This one is fine. I gotta push this one too here. Just keep going around to it and see what else you can find. See, I found another little detail yesterday when I was nailing this corner. You see how this one is a little bit off of it? This one is a little higher than this one. So I'm gonna put a clamp, right? And then I'm gonna nail it. So I'm going to use this clamp here. And I got to get my nail gun. I have my nail gun ready to go. See? Right there is fine. So yes, I'm going to nail it right there. You know, when you do business, these little things matters, you know, for people who, when you sell these kind of entryway tables, people they like to have a very good piece. So just take your time to make it right, you know, for what people they paying for these pieces. So right there is very good. So that's what I do, you know. When I'm selling these pieces, I have to make sure that, you know, I try to make them the best that I can, you know, because it's very hard to work with this wood. But I just keep going around to it. And see, I found another piece or another nail here that I have to like push it down, push it inside a little more. So just a little bit here. Right there. And then it seems like this one is the same thing. See, the thing when I started sanding, I don't want to lose the texture of the nail, you know, the rusty nail. You know, I don't want to take some of the rust out. So that's what I have to use. I have to put them way in there, not way in there, but I'm trying to push them down so that way I can avoid in sanding the nail with this, you know, with my sandpaper. It seems like I got them right there. I think it's another one over here. Another one over here. Just kind of push them a little bit. Just make sure that every nail is in there. And another thing, sometimes when I build on them, I'm missing some of the nails. So sometimes the scrap, when I cut them and like in 2 inches, what I do, I save the nails because sometimes it fell off from the wood or anything. So I use them to fill the hole in there. So next, what I'm gonna do is sanding down. I'm gonna start sanding this top. On the way to sand it down, don't get all crazy. Just kind of like, you know, take your time to do this because this is very important. Don't try to take all don't try to sand it down all the way to the wood. You have to leave some of the gray color on the wood. So you gotta sand it this way, you know, the direction of the gray of the wood is, you have to sand it like this. And start it, like, you got to go one by one, or whatever you feel comfortable. And just keep going like this. And you don't have to sand it like this. Just kind of, you have all the way, like, or whatever. You see? It's all what you need to do. You don't need to sand it all the way down to the wood, because you're going to lose the texture and the gray of the color of the wood, So, see it? Kind of, you have to expose the grain of the wood there a little bit, not all of it, but just kind of like that. And the same thing on the side right here, you have to like sand it down like this way. I bring this here. One of the things that's very important when you do the edge of this of the table, do not just sand it down a little bit like this. You see how you're removing all the burning from the sun, being on the sun for so many years. This wood, you just kind of a little bit, just take off the corner a little bit, and then sand it down. And just keep going along, And the same thing right here. Do not sand too much on the corner. Just kind of a little bit. We gotta remove these. And just keep working along to it. And then I started working on this area like this, and just keep going. Just keep doing it like this, and then remember, you gotta sand along the way like this, wherever the grain goes to it. Don't sand it like this, because you're gonna put a lot of marks across the texture of the wood. You don't want that, because it's not gonna look right. Just take your time, and this way, see it? And do the same thing all the way around on this side. Be careful with the corner. Just be very smooth. And then just go with your hand like this, and you will feel this becoming more smooth, It's not as it used to be, but it will look very nice when I put the finish on it. And just keep going along to it. Do the same thing on this side. I'm going to show you how to do the corners. This area right here. Okay, in a minute. Let me finish to sand this area over here. The camera guy is very slow today. I don't know what happened to him. Sleepy, maybe. On the corner right here, you have to knock down the sharpness of these corners by doing this. Just go like this with your very gentle. Don't try to be like pushing it hard. You see it? Just a little bit. That's it. And go with your finger and see if it's sharp. If it's sharp, just work in the area where it feels with your finger sharp. And then on the side, just go the same thing. Just go along to it. See it? And then right here on the corner, the same thing. Just left it a little bit and just work underneath just the corner. So we have to take the sharp of the wood, you know. Right here, this corner is done. So I will do the same thing along the way. Like this, see it? And then I left it a little bit. And I knocked down the corner just a little bit. And the same thing, just walk along your piece and work it out. Whatever you feel comfortable. You know, see it? That's it. And then go with your hand like this and you will feel how smooth it's getting to it. Right here. That's it. You don't need too much of it. Doing like this because you were. I'm gonna show you in a little piece. What happened when you do it? So like this. If you go like this, you're gonna remove all the gray. It's not gonna look very. See it? If you just keep sanding it like this, you will take the texture of the wood. You don't want that. So that is one of the things that you have to learn about if you're gonna do this kind of work. And the same thing, this corner the same way. You gotta like sand it and feel it with your fingers, and then go around to it. And just keep working around the. See it? And then go under like an angle 45 and then sand it down, the edge on the bottom, and then on the top do the same thing. Just a little bit, you don't need to sand in too much of it. And then we got to this corner over here, and the same thing. This is a very perfect example that I'm missing a nail right there on the corner. So I'm going to get a nail that I save for these situations. See, this one is going to go in here, but I think it's too long, so I have to cut it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can find another nail to put in here. I'm gonna put this one in there. It's a little smaller, so it's gonna go in there. You gotta find the way how it was nailed to it. See it? It went in there, so I gotta use my hammer. Hopefully. See, it went in there. Now I have to get my tool to push it in. That's why I saved those nails. There you go. I think I got it right there. See it? And just sanding it. It's ready, and then just keep sanding it. You see how it looks here, and you will see when I'm sanding it down, it's going to bring a little more the texture to it. See it? See it? And then right here on the top, the corner, on the bottom, you got to take the sharpness of the edge of the wood. And the same thing, see how it is kind of black, or it doesn't have, you can see the texture. Look at, see how it's cleaning it up. That's what I'm telling you. You don't have to sanding too much of it. And then we finish it right here. And then we do the corner. Remember, just go use your finger to knock down the sharpness of the corner like this. That's it. And then at the end, just kind of check all the way around to it for any, if you miss any spot, just go with your hand like this, and then just check if you need to sand a little more in some areas, just go ahead before you put the finish on the top of it. Sometimes I put some sealer, and then I put my finish on it. When I use lacquer, it will give more protection to it. But I like to spray or using a brush to it, so that way you can make it. I like to do the brush too, so it will give. I like to give the better look to it. Don't put too much on it. Just kind of a little bit. You don't need to put a lot of lacquer or a lot of finish on it, because you want it to bring the gray of the wood out. So you don't need too much of it. Just kind of maybe 2 times, very light, and that's it. So the next part, almost ready to spray the finish on this one. So what I do is, let me raise this thing up. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my air hose to blow all these dust, to clean it up, everything, and you will see how it will clear up all the dust and all the area, and you will see more of how it's gonna look like. So this is what I use to it. I put it on my air hose and see it? I'm going to show you right here on this corner how it's going to, see how it's clearing everything up. Well, check it out. See it? You see how it looks, the gray? Check it out. See it? And that's how you do it. Check it out, right here in this area. See how it's clearing everything up and expose the wood very good. See it? And you have to do it and everywhere around to it. On the side. And just work your way all the way out. The camera guy is all like sleepy today. You gotta make sure that all the dust come out. You see the wood how it looks like? Very, very, very nice. That's what I'm looking for. And then we're going to move this piece and put it over here. Let me bring the camera over. Come on, camera guy. So this is how we're going to spray this right here, so that way you will have a better idea how we do this, you know. See it? So one of the things that I do, I get my finishing spray. Before I do this, I have to shake the can very well. You know that, right? You have to shake this thing very well. You can use like a bucket. That's what I use to put it underneath, and I center it out, and I put my piece on the center. You can use a bucket or whatever you need to put it, so that way you have a lot of room to it, so that way you can work around to it with your spray can. You just kind of be light with this, you know. It's very light. See it? How the wood is coming up. And just work your way all the way around to it. I started going around the corners first, on the side like this, see it? You see the difference? Over here is dry and over here is showing the wood. So we just kind of go like this. I'm trying, the way that I do, I go all the way around to it, but today, yes, I'm going to go like this very easy, so that way you can see how it's covering. You see it? You just keep working around to it. That's all you need to do. Camera guy still like sleepy or something. See it? Remember, this is a clear, satin clear, yeah. And it's oil base. I like to use oil base better than water base, but to do this kind of, and it helps it more to protect this wood. See it? And just keep it spraying. This is the last section on the back of the front. Next time I'm going to use my HPLP gun. It's better. I'm trying to do something different today, so I'm using this. I never use this one, always I use lacquer, but it's okay. It will protect your wood anyway. So after when I do all these areas on the side, all the way around to it, I started spraying on the top. The way that I do it, go spraying the finish going towards, like the gray, following the gray. No, you can't just cover it. You started it from this side and go like this. So always when I spray out of the table, of the top, and just going all the way up until you go out of, from the edge, and then do the same thing and come back, going out. And then start it before hitting the table, just going along all the way out like this. And do very light, because we have to do maybe 2 or 3 coats with this thing, with this spray. So we go like this. See it? And come back. One, see it? See how it's exposing, and you can see more of the drain of the wood. You see the line right here? This is dry and this is already wet. So see how it looks like? It looks beautiful. And then back. And back. Going in and then come back again. Wow, it looks very cool with this one.